Back now to the fallout from that deadly shooting spree in July. The prosecutor in Kent County releasing his findings on the case today. We've heard the 911 tapes. We've seen the dash cam video. But what about the fallout now? Roderick Dantzler, he killed 7 people, including his wife and ex-girlfriend. And now we're learning that this case has sparked some new action when it comes to domestic violence. Joining us now in our Graham Studios downtown, Vice President of Counseling Services for the YWCA, Tom Cottrell. Tom, thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Did you see an uptick in calls following this incident in July coming into your agency? Are you aware of any other agencies that experienced more people calling in?
Sure. Both the YWCA Domestic Crisis Center and Safe Haven Ministries both experienced an uptick in calls, approximately 30% for us and 50% for Safe Haven Ministries. And it isn't just the number that changed, but also the tenor of the calls. The callers are much more panicked, much more fearful. The sense of needing to get out of those situations is much more urgent for them right now. That's
understandable given the severity of that massacre that we had in July. But from an individual standpoint, is it kind of a recognition maybe that their own situations may develop into something that tragic?
I think surviving domestic violence in some ways requires that people deny the level of risk that's involved. And when we have an incident like the Dantzler murders become so prevalent in the community, that ability to not assess the level of risk and deny that level of risk makes it much, much more difficult for the victim. And I think the reality of the danger becomes much more apparent.
We always look for opportunities, perhaps, to try to correct a situation, and domestic violence is one of those issues, and awareness of domestic violence that seems to continually pop up, and it just doesn't seem that we can make that full connection from asking for help and getting help. Where is the disconnect there? What still needs to be done?
Well, I think a lot of the services that we've offered and traditionally have been offered in the domestic violence movement have been targeted at protecting victims, rescuing victims from domestic violence situations. And essentially all we've been doing is picking up the pieces and directing services towards people who are violent, towards batterers, towards looking at early intervention and identification, really would be far more better targeted at resolving issues of domestic violence much earlier in the cycle. So we're not helping victims, we're actually stopping victimization.
Is it a money issue as well? Do you find that the services are available, are they getting cut and the options are dwindling down for folks, or is it something else more societal, as you say, getting to it earlier?
I think it's both. I think there are dwindling resources for anyone in the social services right now, but specifically for domestic violence victims, there are dwindling resources. And the resources to help assailants to find better ways to cope are meager at best. It's not a group that really engenders a lot of support, but it really would be the area that funding should be put in order to look for solutions.
Tom Cottrell with the YWCA. We appreciate your insight tonight, Tom. Thanks for coming by.